Hi everyone, my name is Joe Price and behind the camera is John Plunkett. Over the summer we're hoping to explore the people from Pitch and Putt. Not just the competitions but the people behind the scene. We'll be meeting some well-known names and some unsung heroes, learning a bit about their past in the sport and maybe even uncovering a few surprises and passions you wouldn't normally associate with Pitch and Putt. These are personal choices, and while you may not agree with everything that we share, we hope you'll enjoy the stories, the characters and the spirit of the game we all love. Try not to be too hard on us on your comments. Now, starting today, we're on a lovely sunny evening on the 11th of July 2025. 30 degrees on the car as I got out of it, and we're honoured to be here with Paddy Kelly from the Trim Club. Paddy, we're delighted to be joined by yourself, and you recently were appointed as the manager of the Irish team for the upcoming European Team and Pitch and Putt Championships, which, as we know, takes place in Lucan from the 17th to the 20th of July. You bring a wealth of experience and passion to the role, and under your leadership, Team Ireland is sent to make a strong impression on home turf. It's a real pleasure to have you with us, and congratulations first of all on your appointment. How were you selected?
I got a phone call a couple of months ago. I was down here doing something within the club, and I was on my way home and my phone rang. The secretary from Pitch and Putt Ireland. No, I had a missed call, and then when I left here I rang her back, and she gave me the news that I had been selected to captain or manage Team Ireland, and I thought it was a joke. And she said, no, it's not, and we would love if you would take on the role. And I said, I have to go home and have a cup of tea. And anyway, it's a huge honour for me, and I thought about it. I was given 24 hours, but I didn't need 24 hours, and I sent an email back saying that I would be delighted to accept the role.
Good for you, Paddy. What would your goal be as team manager for this prestige event? Would I be right in saying on paper the gents team would be probably one of the favourites, especially being on the local course within Ireland?
Yeah, well, you would, but like I'm a firm believer of nothing on paper, it's on grass where it counts. I always say, it's an old saying that I have from years ago from my experience of playing golf and different things. You know, I've seen great teams over the years. I wouldn't be taking anything for granted. They are a fantastic team. It is in Ireland, in Lucan, and you know, but there's great preparation gone into it, you know, and I certainly, as team manager, I'm not taking anything for granted. And we're getting together tomorrow, and we will be meeting. We'll have a few practices in Lucan during the week before the championship starts. And I'm really looking forward to working with these lads. They're great. They're all different individuals, and they're all great people and great players. And you know, they have a passion for the game like myself.
How many players are on the team, Paddy, and how are the players selected for this event?
There are 6 players on the team. The selection process was the top 3 in the rankings. There in June. I'm not too sure about the exact date, but we had a trial in June in Lakeside a couple of weeks ago, and there was 99 turned up to play in it, which was great, you know, wanting to represent their country. So basically after the trial, the top 3 in the rankings automatically were on the team, and then the next 2 that came out of the trial, and then the final pick was myself, was a wild card, and that's how the team was picked.
And what is the format of the competition in Lucan, and how many teams are you aware of are entered into it?
The format is on the Friday. There will be an opening ceremony on the Thursday evening, and on the Friday morning from 8 o'clock the players will go out and play singles. So each player will play, and 5 of the 6 scores will count, and that will determine their seeding going forward. They will go into groups of 3. There's 9 countries in it, and they will go into groups of 3, and then they will play each other in the match play. in both singles and foursomes format over the next couple of days.
You mentioned the wild card.
Yes.
That was probably one of your biggest headaches up to now. Am I right in saying?
Yeah. The wild card is a difficult decision for any manager to make. I went down to Lakeside with 4 or 5 names in my head, and to be honest with you, I wasn't sure on the day. But as it transpired, there was a session in the morning at 9:30. There was another session then at 1:30. And then there was a playoff for the top 12 plus ties at about 6:30. And after that, the team at that stage was Kieran Earls number 1, Eamon Gibney number 2, and Stephen Shore number 3.
Those are on the rankings.
Yes,
yeah.
after so before they went into that playoff, and then Damien Fleming from Deer Park came out 17 under. And then there was a tie. It's very, very close. There was lads very unlucky to miss out. But there was a tie between John Walsh from Collins and Stephen O'Reilly from Hillview. And they went into a 6-hole playoff. And that was a very exciting playoff. And John Walsh went 2 shots ahead, and then Stephen O'Reilly came back. And then playing the 6th hole, Stephen O'Reilly hit a very good shot onto the green. And John Walsh, with his huge experience and talent, hit an exceptional shot to a very, very difficult hole, and he left it about 2 foot, I would say, from the hole, maybe 2.5 foot. Stephen had a go at the putt, missed the putt, and John got it. And I made my decision as to the wild card. Then after that, I congratulated John on making the Irish team. He said he was delighted. And then I offered the wild card to Stephen. And I'm very, very happy with my choice. It was difficult, but I'm very happy. He was delighted, obviously, to receive it, and it is a difficult decision for a manager, but people think, and rightly so, and maybe in some ways that they're going to get it, but I have no regrets. I'm happy with the team anyway going forward, and we're just preparing now just for the championships, and really looking forward to it now at this stage. It has been a hectic few weeks now. There's a bit of stress and things related to it, but that's part of the job. And I kind of knew that taking it, but as things stands at the moment, very happy the way things are going.
The job is couldn't be in safer hands, Paddy. Well done on that part, and best of luck going forward. Now we'll go a little lighter. That's the serious part of it, out of contention. We all entered pitch and putt at different stages of our lives, obviously. How did you first get involved in pitch and putt as Paddy Kelly?
Well, I would have started playing back in the 60s. Both of my parents played, and my dad was a founder member of the club when it was in Drinadaly, which would be out near Horse Mill. In the late 50s, that would have been formed out there, and my dad was on that, and my late mother, both of my parents have passed, but my mother was a very, very good player, and she played off.
Are you suggesting you're taking after the mother or the father?
Well, I'd say more so my mother, to be honest with you, and I was playing golf with a chap one day who passed away recently, a very nice fella called George Crowley. And he paid a lovely compliment to me, and my mother's name was Carmel, and he said, God bless Carmel, he said, she left you her hands, which was a reference to chipping and putting around the greens or whatever. So I thought it was a very nice thing to say, I knew exactly what he meant anyway. So we all would have started playing when we were kids, and I think in 1973 I won a Meath championship. I think I have the trophy somewhere, and we would have been brought around by the likes of Paddy Gibney and Bernie Lacey and my dad and people like that as juveniles to different opens and different things. And Paddy, thank God, is still with us. He's a huge part of our club here, and he's our secretary for a number of years.
And did you win a few toasters or kettles as the prize were at the time?
I did, and one of the most famous, I remember playing in Gormanstown years ago, and it was lashing rain, and of course there was no wet gear at that time, but there was a radio cassette player, and I really, really wanted to win it, and I did win it, and it was worth getting the wetting for at the time, and you know, it was a great. To me, it was a great prize. It mightn't have been to someone else. And I remember winning a thing called the Whatnot.
What's the
And
Whatnot?
Whatnot it's a stand with shelves that goes in at an angle into a corner of a room, and you would put pot
yes.
plants or ornaments or whatever.
Which are cups and trophies in?
Myself and a lady called Rita Foley, Kevin Foley and Frank Foley's mother.
Those are the Meath footballers.
Won a doubles, yeah. And that just sticks in my mind. And of course, when we were down at the castle, you know, when we had the course at the castle, the Trim Club was renowned for giving Cavan Crystal at the time.
The same castle was the scene for the Braveheart film.
Yes, yeah, wonderful course. Probably one of the nicest courses in Ireland. But we always gave Cavan Crystal, and we ran a singles over 4 days, and the prizes were fabulous. You know, it was just great. You know, it was a great course. We have a great course here at the moment, but believe it or not, this is our 6th course, and a lot of people don't know that. You know, the first course we started was in Daly, near Boards Mill. The next course was at Scorluxtown, out near Jack Quinn's, and we were there for a few years, and then we moved up to the back of the pub. That was the 3rd course, and then the castle would have been in around 82, 83, and then we were there until I think it was 94, and we got this land here, and then there was a course up, and John Plunkett would remember, up where the OPW building is there while this course was being got ready.
Okay.
So finally, I think this is our final resting place.
How long are we playing on this particular course?
27 or 8 years, I
Give or
would say.
take, yeah, okay.
A lot of work on it, big improvements over the years, you know, a lot of work, a great committee and a great groundsmen and everything. Yeah.
Most important.
Very good club here.
You mentioned in passing the other sport, golf.
Yes.
Did you play much of that yourself?
I did, yeah, I played, I would have played as a juvenile, and then, when we lost the castle grounds there because of the film Braveheart, and we had to move, I went back playing, so around 96, 95, 96, I started playing a little bit of society golf, and I played golf. I left pitch and putt for 23 or 4 years, and I was luckily enough to be, I was in a golf club down in County Offaly, in Dangan, called Castlebarna, and I had the great honour of being captain of that club in 2006, and it was a marvellous achievement, or, you know, for me personally. But I always loved pitch and putt. Like pitch and putt, you know, when any time I'd meet P.T. Toole from the club here, I'd always ask him, you know, how's the pitch and putt? I'd be watching. There used to be a local paper or magazine, a local thing called
Focus.
The Focus, and the results would be in it. You know, everything about the local activity would be in it, and as soon as I got the Focus, I'd go to see the pitch and putt results, and you know, and in fairness to the members here, like, you know, I think there was only, when I came back playing, I'm pretty sure there was 34 members, and now we have over 200. And it's a credit to everybody involved. But they kept this course going, this club.
What's the juvenile scene like? It's a worry or concern around the country?
The juvenile in Trim
yes.
is fantastic.
Good.
I am the juvenile officer myself, and I run a regular weekly competition. Now, some of them don't want to play in competitions, or maybe they're not ready for competitions yet, but we have at the moment 87 juveniles.
That's excellent.
Now, I had a competition here last Wednesday, and we had 11, which I was happy enough with, and the week before we had 10. And it's grown because a lot of them play other sports, of course, you know, so they're very good kids and well mannered, and we don't have any issues with them at all, and I think, you know, a lot of clubs should focus on that, on bringing on, you know, I know it's difficult with all the other sports, but I think we should be focusing on bringing on the younger people and that, and you know, it's a very, very cheap pastime. You know, like most clubs, our membership here, I think, is for a juvenile is €30 for the year.
Are we underselling our sport?
Well, possibly you could say that, but you know, compared to golf, like when I joined County Meath Golf Club in which would be in Trim here in 2008, and it cost me €8,000, and it was a lot of money. Whereas my membership fee here is 85. It probably is a little bit cheap, but you know, we do want to encourage people to come in, and maybe some people, not everybody mightn't have the money, so we do, and we have no problem even if people wanted to pay.
And it's given them a feel for the sport and perhaps joining.
Yeah, and if they do eventually go to golf, you know, some of them do, some of them don't, but I've seen so many people that have left the game and come back to it, you know, over the years.
Most of us have at some stage.
Yeah, and it's marvellous, and the beauty of pitch and putt that I find, like, you know, with our country, that I would know people in every county in Ireland, and you know, we'd meet up at a scratch cup, or we'd meet at a Scotch foursomes or whatever, and we'd go in and have a cup of tea and a chat, and that's all part of the thing, you know. And recently the Meath County Board run a great competition there called the Meath Leagues, and we were lucky enough to get to the final in Stackallan against Rathfy, a very, very good Rathfy team. And the crowds that was there, like, was unbelievable. And they all came in afterwards, you know, to celebrate with both teams or whatever, and had a cup of tea and a sandwich. And the atmosphere within the club was brilliant, you know, within Stackallan, and it was a great venue for it, you know, because it's...
I have to agree with you. It was probably, in my few years back then, it was probably the most enjoyable evenings of pitch and putt.
It was great, because going back in the years, like I played there in a senior league final there in 1992, and I never thought we'd see those days again where the crowds were out, and there was actually a video made of it, and we went back in and there was a bit of music and everything. But it was reminiscent of that, and that's what my main objective in the game is, that people are enjoying it and are happy, and it's not all about playing in championships and things like that, you know what I mean? There's all different aspects of, you know, promoting the game, and you can meet up. There's a group here called the Pitch and Putt Buddies, and they meet up on a Thursday morning and they have a game among themselves, and they take their time and then they go for a cup of coffee. And that's very important.
Which leads me nicely into the next question I've scribbled down here. What are some of the biggest challenges facing pitch and putt, both at the local scene and we say at a national level? Different role now.
Yeah, there's challenges for certain clubs, you know, some of the smaller clubs, you know, where I suppose in a lot of clubs the membership is aging a bit, and that's why I would be anxious that clubs would promote the younger fraternity to come into the game. And the work that these people do is unbelievable. You know, you would be fearful for some of the smaller clubs, but they are great. It depends on the area. Like, we're in a very good area here, you know. There's kayaking and things there beside us, and we have a playground and everything, and it's a nice safe area, a nice safe environment. There are challenges, you know, but there's challenges, I suppose, in everything, you know. We need bodies, we need people to become volunteers to help out, I think.
Do you find, or is it just a personal thing that I think, the older generation always over the years were very keen to volunteer?
Yes.
The younger people, is it because they haven't as much time on their hand, or what? They don't seem to be as eager to step forward.
Yeah, I suppose we probably grew up, you know, like, we grew up in an era where, you know, like, I can remember in Trim Golf Club years ago, we went out and we picked stones and that, you know, off fairways and things, and we got a bottle of orange and maybe a packet of crisps or whatever. But the younger people are not brought up in that area, and maybe it's right or maybe it's wrong. Some people just want to play the game. Some people don't want to. But like, I was in Lucan there last week. One of the guys was up practicing for the upcoming championships, and there was 3 people out working, and they weren't too young, and it was just fantastic to see the work that they were doing. You know, I would know them, like, and they've been there for years and years, but they have a passion for the game. the young people, now if we have a work night here, we will get the young people down and they will do the work, you know what I mean? If you ask them and if you go the right way about it, maybe you'll get them. I suppose every club differs, you know.
Okay. If you won the lotto, what would you like to see Pitch and Putt doing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, yeah, I'd like to see more promotion of the game, like what you're doing here. Like, you know, it's to promote the game. Like, we have a fantastic game, and the skill levels are there. The first thing I would do would be build a clubhouse here. You know, that is the only thing. We have a small clubhouse, but we have a championship course. I would regard it as a championship course, and you know, the facilities, like if I won the lotto, I would try and put it back into different elements of pitch and putt to try and promote it as regarding, you know, try and help out clubs and that, you know what I mean? That's, it's hard for me to win the lotto, Joe, because I don't do it. Right. I have the lotto here in Trim Pitch and Putt.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the sport of pitch and putt receives enough support and recognition, we say, outside from, we say, the government, within government, or could we improve on things that way?
Well, I think it's pretty good with Sport Ireland. I think the national executive, they get quite a good grant off Sport Ireland, and you know, there's great promotion within the game. Like, there's some great coaches going around the country working with people with disabilities and, you know, all different genders and different things, you know, and I think that's a step in the right direction, and there is a lot of work going on.
And it's also gaining recognition for pitch and putt.
It is, and you know, if you go into the Pitch and Putt Ireland there on a regular basis there are coaches promoting the game there, and I think it's marvellous what to do, you know, and even Stephen Enniquist there would be the national coach, and he does fantastic work. And he goes around to different schools during when schools are open, and he was only here a couple of weeks ago, and he would have maybe another coach, maybe Ger Holland, who's a coach as well, and she's very, very good. And
she's the ladies
manager of the ladies Irish team, and if they came to Trim, I would offer my help. I am qualified as a coach myself and do a bit of coaching, but there's great promotion there, and I see Stephen at the moment is doing coaching of adults, and he is a wonderful way with people. You know, I see him here with the kids, and he's just marvellous with it, you know, and he's very fair, and everything is run properly, and he's very professional in his approach, and he makes them feel nice and relaxed. And since he was here a couple of weeks ago, we've had some of the kids from the school have come down and joined and come down and paid green fees, and
fantastic.
We offer clubs to them.
So it's paying divvy?
Yes, yeah.
Right, a couple of personal questions. We're on the home straight, as they would say in racing terms. What has been your proudest moment in pitch and putt so far?
Well, this has to be it, you know, being selected as captain of the Irish team. You know, it's a huge honour. You know, I couldn't, like, as I said earlier, I was captain of a golf club. That was a huge honour. Coming back to pitch and putt, I was captain. I was just looking at the board in there. I was captain when we were down to Castle in 1989, and when I came back, I befriended, we'd say, a good friend of mine. He's a lot younger than me, but we really get on well, called David Campbell, who would be fondly known as Diddles, everyone. So he was captain in 2018, and he asked me to be his vice captain, and I was deeply honoured. And that was a huge honour as well, to come back 30 years after to be captain, you know, 30 years to the year actually, to be captain again. And it meant a lot to me, you know, and I think to be captain, to be asked to be chairman or captain, or to hold a position on the committee, and that is, you know, people obviously respect you and they feel that you have something to offer. But without doubt, the biggest honour in my whole career would be captain of the Irish team.
Good. Your favourite course All over Ireland, and I'd say you have been on all or most of them. Are you ever off them?
That's a hard question now. Do you know, I was actually with you, Joe, yesterday in a beautiful course called Pulafuka, and my God, it's picturesque. It was probably a little bit too hot, but it was most enjoyable.
We're just not used to the temperatures, Paddy.
Yeah, it would be up there. I love Kilbeggan. Probably Oldcastle, I have to say. Just something about Oldcastle. Probably suits the way I hit the ball, you know, coming back from the golf, some longer shots. You know, the holes that I would find more difficult, I probably wouldn't do very well in Cork now in some of the courses down there, unless I was there for a couple of years.
Why do you say that?
Some of the courses are short, you know,
Okay.
short pitches. Whereas, you know, the likes of Lochgool or Oldcastle or that, where there be longer shots, you know what I mean? It's more difficult.
I thought there was other reasons for that.
No, there's no other reasons for it. The Cork players are absolutely fantastic, and they have mastered the art of the short pitches over banks and with bunkers and everything. And it's a wonderful art to have. But maybe if you were down there long enough. But the courses up here, like Oldcastle, definitely would be right up there because you can open up your shoulders, I suppose, and the greens are a bit bigger.
And it was the scene for the Leinster
It was the scene for the Leinster
2024.
into counties, and it was a great venue for it. And it's a beautiful course, and there is all over. Like, I mean, I played a lovely course there last Sunday in the National Seniors, in very tough conditions now, but it was immaculate, called Riverdale.
Right.
Oh, it was beautiful now.
I watched that online.
Yeah, it was, and I really enjoyed playing in that now. And you know, Chris Scannell from Cork won that, and he gave an exhibition. I would honestly say his second round has to be up there with one of the greatest rounds ever, because he shot a 54 and he won it by 6. And that's to win the championship by 6 shots. Like, and there was a very good field there.
What were blustery conditions?
I wouldn't say blustery. There was a gale blow. It was extremely difficult, but the course was just unbelievable, you know. And that is one thing about pitch and putt, and it's all voluntary. That the way they're able to get these courses to a championship level is unreal, and it's a credit to everybody that's involved in these clubs that they can do that, because it's all voluntary. Nobody's getting paid, you know. And it's just Navan there as well in the Leinster match play. Eri was exceptional for the national match play. It was just beautiful, a great venue, you know, and it was a small club, you know, out in the country there, and you know, they have a famous name there. Shane Lowry, the golfer, British Open champion, started playing there as a child, and you know.
He often refers to it in his interviews too.
Yes, he would, and I was lucky enough to play golf with him one time when he was 14 or 15, and you know, it's brilliant, and you know, the fact that, and it just goes to show you that if a youngster starts off playing pitch and putt, and if they progress on to golf or whatever, like, but if you develop a short game at pitch and putt and bring that into the game of golf or whatever, you know,
you'll win the few bob.
It stands to you. It's there's no doubt it's the short game that counts.
Right, last question. If you were to play 4-ball with any player, past or present, Paddy, who would he be? In other words, your dream player or players of pitch and putt.
Oh.
This will bring in the comments.
Well, that could take me a while now, Joe, to think about
But John is in no hurry, neither am I.
You might be surprised now when I say the first person. The first person would be Phyllis Riley.
From Stacallan.
From Stacallan. Sorry, just getting a little bit emotional now, because I knew her late husband very well. He was a fantastic player. I played with her in the Meath. We have a scramble there, or a Meath Alliance, sorry. Mm-hmm. And I played with her, and I was just amazed at her. I think she's in her mid-80s, and She was using an 8-iron, she was hitting the ball dead straight, she got up around the greens, and the passion that she has for the game still. And I met her there at the Meath League final there, and she's in making tea, and that to me that's somebody that I want to play with, you know, so a person like her that has given so much to the game, and it's probably keeping her going, you know, at this stage in her life, and her son-in-law John Try, who's an officer on the Meath County Board there, and he does great work with the juveniles. He brings her around and he plays with her in different opens and that. And I just love people. That's what I love about the game. I love people like that. So she would be definitely in that four ball.
Right. You've still 3 more positions to fill. Could be as
three?
difficult as.
Am I not in this four ball
Well,
myself?
you have to tell me that. Whether you be managing the team or playing. You presume you're playing then, okay.
I have to go with Diddles. I have to. A very good, loyal friend, and love his company. And I'd say the last one then would be Mark Kennedy. You know, Dave. I love his company as well. We have great fun going around, and Dave would be very good to me, bringing me to different things over the years. And you know, you never just pick up the phone and the lads would be there. You know, they'd be, you know. They'd be my four ball now. I would enjoy playing. We might have a side bet on it. I don't know whether Phyllis would like a bet, but sure. I'd play with Phyllis again, the two lads. We'd have a few shots.
Oh yeah, you're fond of the few shots.
Yeah.
Okay, Paddy, that's grand. It was a pleasure.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure talking to you, and wish you well in the upcoming event in Lucan.
Thanks.
I know it will be a successful.
Yeah, please
won't be
God,
lacking
yeah.
on anything.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right.